Welcome to Inspirational Journeys, everyone. My name is Ann Harrison, and tonight, as I'm recording this, but by the time you're hearing this, it'll be today. This week, should I say, I have a returning guest, my friend Rachael Clarke, who also writes under the name A Clarke, who is a friend and a fellow writing warrior for Jesus, and she and I are going to talk about something very special because this month is National Novel Writing Month. But before we get into that, Rachael, why don't you introduce yourself for new listeners and viewers out there and those who haven't heard, from you in a while, and, just so they can get to know you again.
Sure. Hi, I'm Rachael Clarke. Like Anne said, I also write under a pen name A Clarke. Usually I write short fiction, a lot of short fiction, and I'm working on some novels projects as well. And those projects will usually get published, or hopefully get published in the future, under the pen name A Clarke. But I'm a homegrown Canadian. I grew up and live in Manitoba, Canada. I've always been an artistic and writerly person. I've always drawn and illustrate, and I write poetry and stories. So I was a police officer for a while. That was my major career for most of my adult life, but that ended. And now I'm a stay-at-home mom, which is awesome. I got 2 young boys and a wonderful husband that I live with here. And now I'm pursuing one of my other original passions and my other dreams from when I was a young girl, and trying to become a writer and illustrator. So, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I guess I should just add, like, I write children's chapter books and illustrate them as well. I'm working on the second one in a series right now. The first one is called The Big Old Bike. You can find it on Amazon if you have kids between the ages of 7 and 10. And yeah, I'm just kind of moving forward with all kinds of stuff. So, yeah.
It's funny you should mention that, because that's why Rachael had come on here the first time to talk about The Big Old Bike. And for Nanowrimo, one of the projects I'm working on is a children's book.
Oh, yay.
I have it pegged right now. The file name is Teddy's Pumpkin Ride Adventure, but I'm not sure. I've got it Teddy and Yoshi's Birthday Adventure, but as my working title, but I'm not sure what the title is going to be of it yet. I've finished that chapter 3, the Wayward chapter that I needed to write, but I'm going to try to get some work on that done too, and get that finished during this month. But so, NaNoWriMo update real quick. Because I'm a rebel, and I started a couple days early, and I added the children's chapter book into my word count. So my total word count right now is about 7,600 and something. I don't have the number right in front of me, but yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I did a lot of work yesterday too. Yeah. So do you have any updates you want to share, or not yet?
It's just we've only just begun.
Oh, well, the month has only just begun practically anyway. So
yeah. No, I jumped into it last night. I've had a lot of commitments actually yesterday, so it kind of hindered my day one of my nano writing experience. So I only got about 500 words on the page and a little bit of editing, which I usually don't do much editing when I'm writing, but I figured I wanted to kind of just touch on a couple things when I had some time. So yeah, I'm like 500 words in. So tonight I'm hoping to hammer a bunch out. So
yeah, well, 500 words is 500 words. Hey, don't. Yeah. Okay. So right. Since we are talking about NaNoWriMo, Rachael has a book of writing prompts. Do you want to tell us about that?
Sure. Yep, I would love to. Yeah. So this is my book. It's called Oh, That's Good. 52 writing prompts you never knew you needed, but seriously, you do. It's the lovely proof copy here. As you can see, this gray mark that comes all the way across. I don't have my author copies in yet, but I just released this book on October 30th, which is very exciting for me. This is a prompt book for writers that enjoy writing speculative fiction. So speculative fiction is basically anything that's not, for anyone that doesn't know, it's not based in our reality, so like science fiction and fantasy, like all kinds of that stuff that would fall under that category. And that's what I like to write. I like to write that a lot. So I have all these ideas. It's like, that's the thing, is I have too many ideas. I want to write them all and I can't. So I figured, well, why not with all these ideas that pop in my head and all the brainstorming I love to do, why not share the wealth and throw those out there as prompts for other creative individuals, like-minded writers like myself, and just maybe they'll get some inspiration. Maybe they'll want to write something from it and twist it and turn it and make it their own. And who knows what could come of it. So that's what I did. That's what this book is. So there's a bunch of different writing prompts, and I've got some motivational quotes in there, and people can grab it and run with it essentially. I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm hoping to maybe do some more of these too. Just keep pumping them out, because I always keep pumping out ideas. So
Wow. So here's the thing. These prompts, they came out on October 30th, just in time for NaNoWriMo. You
Yes.
can take these prompts, some of them, maybe not all of them, and either add them to your story, or if you don't know what to write, you can take some of these writing prompts and string them together into a story of your own. And I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but what inspired you to sit down and write I know you've kind of touched on it, but what was the inspiration behind the writing prompts book?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I said there. Basically, I love writing prompts. Sorry, I should correct myself. I love seeing prompts. I love reading prompts. I love entering prompt contests. So I enter a lot of short story contests where there's prompts, and I love just kind of running with that little nugget of information that they give you, and then creating something all brand new, and twisting it and turning it on its head sometimes. And I know there's a lot of other writers that enjoy that too. So that's kind of where the idea came from, is seeing these other writing prompts out there and experiencing these contests, and then having all these things running around in my own brain and having nowhere to put them. So, hey, let's share them with the world, and maybe someone else can make some use of it. Right. So, but you're 100% right. And it's like such a great idea for Nano, because sometimes people, they want to write something, but they don't necessarily have it like 100% set in stone. You could come up with a great idea, open up some prompts and kind of help solidify your plan and your project for tackling Nano. So NaNoWriMo.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me about the process. Did you write your prompts down in a notebook first and then organize them, or tell me how the process behind this book, your writing
Sure.
process?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I wherever I am, I always have my phone with me or a little notepad, and most of the time it's my phone because I'm too busy and my notepad's not always right beside me. So I grab my phone and I have a special dedicated note on my phone for prompts. And whenever something comes up, if I see something in the world, or I hear something, or I'm doing something else and an idea pops in, I write it down right away. And then I also, a little bit of brainstorming. I sit down and I think, okay, let's brainstorm about some stuff. I want to have some prompts about science fiction, or I want to have some prompts with witches in them. And I'll start kind of brainstorming some cool things too, if I didn't already have them. And and they kind of found their way into the book too. So pretty straightforward. Just kind of jotted it down as I went.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if you had categories, or I'll have to read it myself. I tried to do a writing prompts book a few years ago, but when my Toshiba crashed, I lost that and some other things, and I should have saved it on my hard drive.
Oh, that would be horrible, having a computer crash.
Yeah, and I had a few other things to do, but I may do a book of writing prompts myself after reading yours, because I think that would be. I've got some tidbits or something saved somewhere, or
Yeah.
yeah, some of them I remember, some of them I really, I have to look up.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be singing. I don't know if this happens to you, but I'll be doing dishes or something, and I'll be sitting out on the swing. I'll be singing and just making stuff up off the top of my head, and then all of a sudden, something just triggers a prompt.
Mm. I get prompts from all over the place. It could be
Oh, I do.
songs. Yeah.
I like that Walmart one I told people about one time. Umbrellas and chairs. This kid was talking behind me about and he kept saying umbrellas and chairs, umbrellas and chairs. I'm like, like something strange like that. It's like my brain just went, ooh, prompt.
Yeah. What can I do with that?
Yeah, exactly. So, do you have any NaNoWriMo tips for writers?
Sure. I've been doing it now for a few years, and I have finished one novel, writing it as well, and I'm half done the novel. I'm going to be finishing this NaNoWriMo, which is pretty exciting. I'm pretty pumped to get this novel finished. My biggest tips that I would give to people is, for one, get your snacks. Make sure you have some snacks to munch on while you're writing, because that way you don't have to be up and down thinking, oh, I need to go get water, and oh, I need to get snacks, and oh man, just have it kind of all ready at your workstation. So like, here, look at me. I got my Tootsie Rolls, and it's Halloween just passed. I got my water.
I had to put mine up because I eat too much of it.
Yeah, I snuck some of my Tootsie Rolls down into this room. And yeah, so that's the biggest thing. So snacks and rest, to make sure, like, it's tempting to stay up late and keep writing. I've done this myself. When you're up late, you're just on a roll and you write. Try and kind of like keep that in check a bit. You want to make sure you get your sleep, especially if you do have a family and other things going on. Like, don't burn yourself out, because it can definitely happen, because writing is mentally taxing. You don't really realize that it's very mentally taxing. Yeah, and it wears you out. You're working out your brain muscles, so definitely get your rest.
And here's the thing, even when you're so tired, because I was like chatting with some friends last night, well, as we're recording this, but I was chatting with my friends one day and on Zoom, and I'm like, as I was waiting, my brain just decided, okay, so I'm working on this children's book, like I told you before we started recording. And of course, after I get chapter 3 done, I started thinking about chapter 8, which is, I don't want to spoil too much, but they're having to climb out of the basement, and Teddy has already had his body restuffed and his feet fixed, and he doesn't want to break open the stitches again. So yeah, and all of a sudden I start thinking about it. I'm like, look, I am not doing this tonight. My brain is
tired.
It's like, once I get started, I'm not gonna be able to push through. So yeah. But
exactly, that's the worst, when you kind of just start into like a more challenging scene, and then all of a sudden you kind of peter out, and then it's better almost to kind of stop before you hit that bigger, more challenging scene, and then start fresh.
Hit that wall. And what's funny though, you said I was when you said no matter how much you want to be up late at night, you have to rest. Well, I was in the throes of doing that one night. My daughter was here for a weekend, and about 1:00 Sunday morning, I had this dream, and I could see the mountainous staircase from the basement, and all of a sudden I ended up writing. That's how I ended up writing like 1 or 2 chapters at 1:00 in the morning. Sometimes that happens, whether you want it to or not.
That's true.
Yep. So
I'd probably never sleep if I kept my laptop in my bedroom. I'd probably never get to sleep, because I'd always like open it up. Oh, I got another idea. I got that laptop has to go away at night, or I'll stay up.
Mine stays on my desk, but still, I used to do that on my phone a lot. Before the phone got the software got so big, I couldn't do a whole lot. But I used to have my keyboard and my phone, and this before I got an iPad. But I used to be in bed, flat on my back, typing away.
Nice.
Yep. So, and I don't know if you guys have seen my YouTube video on my 7 tips about writing Nanowrimo, but the self-care is important, and the words you get are more words than you had when you started. So there's no losers. I mean, even though officially they say there are, but there's really no losers in Nanowrimo. And yeah, you got to go watch that video, because I give you a whole list of tips and inspiration for Nanowrimo. So find or even find a totem, or if you crochet like I do, you can even make your characters or your objects that you're going to use in your story. That is my thing.
It's fun.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, it's awesome that you said totem. I just showed my little stuffy that I've got. I have a little stuffed, I think it's an elk. It's a stuffed elk that I got from, look, you got a bear. From my very first anthology that my very first story got put into back like a couple years ago, like 2019. And this came with the anthology as like a little like novelty prize. And I've just like always had it around ever since. It's just my little writing buddy.
I gotta show you one more thing. I've shown it before, but I'm gonna show it to you now. Hold on, let me get it. Come here, buddy. I made this in crochet class, okay? And one night I was watching a Twitch stream where we were doing a write-in, and I was going to do my editing on Shadow of Truth. Well, I had this in my hands, then I touched my bear, and I ended up writing the 3rd chapter of my children's story, just inspired by this pumpkin and my bear.
Nice. I was wondering if that was a pumpkin.
Yep, it's supposed to be. Whether it's a, hold on. It's not, sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about the lag in there. I was putting some things away. But it's not the perfect pumpkin, but it's a pumpkin anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's inspiring. I made one. I made an original. My own attempt may not have been with that one's better than my attempt at it. But the thing is, my nieces love the little pumpkins instead of a stem. I put a handle on it, the first one, and I gave it to one of my nieces, and the other niece wanted one, and so I ended up giving them the 3 little pumpkins that I made, and so. I don't know if they'll get inspiration from it, but I know it inspired me.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah,
I also have a rock. That I really like. I don't know why I love it, but it just like
oh gosh,
it feels like it's just embodies my writing. It has all these layers on it. I don't even have it. We have it upstairs. So, but it's got all these layers and it's like smooth. And it's just like, hey, I want all my writing to go smoothly. I want it to read smooth. It'd be a nice, easy read.
ooh,
And I want all the layers that, because I want to write all the layers into the story, make the story really juicy and interesting. So I don't know, it just like it speaks to me, this rock. It's funny how things do that.
my wind chimes do the same thing, or my singing bowl, or but your rock could be another totem.
Yep, it
I
is.
remember Jen did an interview, Jen Lowry, and you've heard me talk about Jen Lowry so many times, but I know she was talking to somebody, and she was talking to a writer, and this lady said that she has a magic bracelet. She puts it on and she's able to, it's like it speaks to her. I tried that with a necklace, but that never worked.
Didn't work.
No, the necklace was too distracting.
Oh, yeah, you don't want that.
No. I'm like, okay, this is that. Yeah, no. I'm not used to wearing necklace. I'm not used to wearing jewelry because I haven't done it in so long. So, yeah, it just drove me more batty than it did help me out a lot. So, well, all right. Any where can people find you online?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me. I have a website, I'll spell it. Well, RachelClarkeWrites.com. I'll spell it because my name's spelled different than some Rachel's. RACHAELCLARKE Writes.com. It's got all my social media links on there, but you can also, I'm on RA Clarke Writes on Twitter and RA Clarke Writes, Rachael Clarke Writes on Instagram. So yeah, I'm around. And my book there, as we mentioned it before, That's Good. Grab a copy if you're up for any type of creative inspiration on some prompts. Grab a copy for yourself. And it's available on Amazon right now. And you can also find it on my website as well.
Okie doke. Well, we challenge you today to go out there and read to get inspired, write something inspiring, including whatever you're writing for Nanowrimo, and share your creation with the world. For when you've touched one life, you've touched thousands. Thanks for joining us on Inspirational Journeys. Have a blessed day, and may the words be with you. Keep writing, everybody.